Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Sheriff Mickey Steins has entered a plea after appearing before a judge for the first time. And soon, Kentuckians will be faced with a difficult decision about Amendment 2 on this upcoming ballot.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We're just past 6:30 this morning. Today is Thursday, September 26th, and we are once again in a first alert weather day. So let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast.
Good morning, Madison. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, that theme of first alert weather days continues today, tomorrow, and through the weekend. We're going to see not only the rain coming into play, but the wind will be picking up. It becomes breezy today into this evening. And then some of the wind gusts as we head through tonight through Friday could approach, if not just exceed, 60 miles per hour. Letcher, Harlan, Bell counties out into southwestern portions of Virginia. So a high wind watch posted until 8 p.m. And then obviously the rainfall coming in with some of us, courtesy of the Kentucky Mesonet. Harlan, Letcher counties over 3 inches of rain in just the last 48 hours. So from Floyd and Pike counties all the way through Knox and Bell toward McCreary counties into Campbell County in northern Tennessee, flood watch in effect until the same time frame, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Excessive rainfall outlook kind of gives you the idea. Level 2 for a lot of us southern into eastern Kentucky, and we move this north in the Mountain Parkway for tomorrow. All right, quick check. 61 here in Hazard. The satellite weather composite shows that shield of rain to the east. Hazard points east to Pikeville, and that moves to the west and northwest heading through today. And with that moisture coming in, highs only in the lower 70s for only some of us today. More about the 7-day forecast and the bus stop forecast in a few moments. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins was arraigned in court virtually yesterday morning. This comes after Steins was charged with murder in the death of District Judge Kevin Mullins. WYMT was able to virtually attend the arraignment and learn the next steps in the process, including what Mickey Steins pled in terms of his murder charge. WYMT's Amelia Lee was in Whitesburg to learn more.
Does he want to enter a plea at this time?
Your Honor, he would enter a plea of not guilty and request a date for preliminary hearing.
During the arraignment, there was some tension between Commonwealth's attorney Jackie Steele and public defender Josh Miller. That's in regards to why Miller was at the arraignment in unofficial capacity, since he was not appointed as a public defender at that time.
You know, they're using state resources at that point in time that they've not been appointed to use. It's the only thing I was bringing to the court's attention.
The judge has now granted a public defender for Steins during the preliminary hearing due to the fact that they need to have that hearing in 10 days. But in terms of the state continuing to provide a public defender for Steins, the costs add up, especially as the judge says Steins makes a decent amount of money, coming in at $115,000 a year as the Letcher County Sheriff.
If and when this case does proceed to circuit court, the circuit court may require you to hire your own counsel.
While the public defender will work for Steins, Commonwealth's attorney Jackie Steele is working for the state of Kentucky.
It's sad there's victims on both sides of this that don't understand what's going on and why things happen, and hopefully we can get some resolution for them in the criminal justice system.
At this point in time, Steins is still the sheriff, but it is not certain how long he will have that title for while in the Leslie County Detention Center.
Sir, it's my understanding that he's in the process of losing his job as the sheriff of Letcher County, obviously, and will not have income going forward. His family is not prepared for this eventuality.
The cost of defending a case like this could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Steins is scheduled to appear for his preliminary hearing on October 1st at 1 in the afternoon in West Liberty, where he will be driven by Kentucky State Police to be there in person. A bail has not been announced at this point for Steins, and police have still not released a motive for the shooting. Here is some background information about Sheriff Mickey Steins. Steins is 43 years old and lived in the McRoberts community. He was formerly a bailiff in district court prior to being elected sheriff in 2018. This was his second term as the Letcher County Sheriff. We interviewed Steins as recently as last month about a drug bust. On Sunday, Irvin police in Estill County reported a theft of rare agate pieces from a gemstone show. Now, they need help identifying and finding the suspect. Police say a man pocketed some rare agate from a vendor there. The man reportedly took 2 necklaces and a pocket knife worth $1,000 in total. Police say the man left alone in a black Jeep. They have not been able to identify the man, so they are asking for help from anyone who lives in the surrounding area. A man wanted for questioning in connection with the death of his wife has been arrested on outstanding warrants in West Virginia. Huntington police say Robert Daniels was arrested on outstanding felony warrants yesterday afternoon in Mingo County. Daniels was also wanted for questioning in connection with the death of his wife. Michelle Daniels was found with severe injuries at a home in Huntington Friday. She later died at the hospital. In Lee County, 3 people are busted for reportedly trying to get drugs into the Three Forks Regional Detention Center. The Sheriff's Department says Cheyenne Haddix, Eric Smith, and Jeremy Patton had a plan to bring the drugs into the jail. But thanks to the jail staff and the Lee County jailer, that plan failed. Haddix was charged with trafficking in a controlled substance and promoting contraband. Patton and Smith were charged with conspiracy to promoting contraband. Police in Laurel County have arrested a woman after it was discovered she had several warrants here in Kentucky. Officers with the London PD's investigation section and the LaGrange Police Department out of Oldham County were told where to find Roberta Paget and take her into custody. In addition to having 7 outstanding warrants in Kentucky, she was wanted out of 9 states. One charge includes theft by deception. She was taken to the Oldham County Detention Center. London police officers have arrested a man on a warrant and found drugs on him during the arrest. On Monday, officers found 45-year-old Ronald Reams. During the arrest, police found what was believed to be suspected meth and marijuana. Reams was served on his outstanding warrant for a parole violation. Several school districts in Kentucky are continuing to deal with threats. Many of them were made after the school shooting in Appalachia High School in Georgia. Now, multiple students across the state are facing felony charges in connection to the threats. FBI Special Agent in charge Michael Stansberry says his agency responded to about 80 threats in more than 40 Kentucky counties this month.
We may not know who the person is, but we know where that information came from, that we can put agents out on the street typically that night, pairing up with local law enforcement and going and knocking on someone's door to try and resolve it.
Special Agent Stansberry says he hopes providing mental health resources and community aversion programs could help change the trend. As the November election gets closer, Kentucky lawmakers are continuing to discuss Amendment 2, a proposed change to the state's constitution regarding school funding. If approved, lawmakers would be able to divert tax dollars to schools outside the public school system. Supporters say it gives families more choice. Opponents say it will hinder the public school system.
And we've had the Supreme Court say that we can't do that according to the Constitution. So that's why the amendment was put on the ballot, to let the people decide about changing the Constitution to allow parents to make these kinds of choices in the future.
The measure is on this November's ballot. We have an update on State Senator Johnny Turner of Harlan County. You may remember the senator, who represents several counties in our area, was involved in a lawnmower incident. Dustin Isaacs with the Senate Majority Caucus provided a statement about Senator Turner's condition. It says, quote, "He recently had his first physical therapy assessment, is physically improving, and remains in good spirits. Although he is still in some pain and remains in the ICU, we are confident in the strength and resilience he continues to exhibit. We're all optimistic about his continued positive progress and ask all Kentuckians to keep him and his family in their prayers." Thanks for getting your day started with us. The time is 6:40, still to come on Mountain News this morning. The clock is ticking and conditions are getting worse by the minute as Hurricane Helene quickly approaches Florida's Gulf Coast.